Hello, beautiful souls. If you're new here, my name is Bree, and today I'm going to be channeling a message from, it feels like, the Councils of Light. I'm going to allow for however it's going to come through. I'm intending that this serve all of us in the highest good of all. They want me to share a little bit before I go into the transmission. So, if you're here and you're going to be consuming this channeled message, this is what I'd like to preface with. This is going to provide us some clarity on realms right now that we don't have a whole lot of understanding around in the human. In other words, these are dimensional aspects of us that we're going to be waking up to as we shift into this much more multidimensional way of life. And so the dimensions I'm referring to here are the 5th through the 7th, meaning these layers of our being is what I'm going to refer to this as. These layers of our being have a very self-correcting aspect. They have a very, what I'm going to call as neutralizing quality to them. And so my guides are all in my consciousness and they're sharing it's time to jump right into the trance channel. So they're showing me that they're going to be moving through the fields. We have all of the archangels present here. We have the Christ of Light family here. There's very protective and nurturing energies coming up from Mama Gaia to really hold us here in this transmission. Mama Gaia is sharing with me it's really important you be grounded when you receive this message. She's going to assist you with this. So what she's sharing is it's important that you have your sits bones planted if you're in a seated position. It's important you not be operating machinery or driving. I really want to be clear about that. I say that here a lot, but what they're showing me is exclamation points. This time around, I need you to honor that because it can be unsafe for you to be receiving from these levels, these layers of your oversoul, your higher self-consciousness, while you're doing something that requires your attention. It can be, I wouldn't recommend it. And before moving forward in the video, you take full responsibility for yourself. You own all of your behavior. You know that you're sovereign, and you know that you're in control of your life and your being and your choices. It's really important that we lay that down here before we get into the more expanded aspects of these messages. Okay. So I'm going to just drop right in because they're here, our guides. I'm intending this can only have the ability to serve in the very highest good of all. That this can only come through with pure unconditional love. And here we go. I'll see you on the other side. Yes. We see the reason why we've been called in today and why we've been specifically called upon for this message. We being the High Council of Light, particularly the group of us that are watching over your universe. Bree's inquiring that is this Council of Light containing of the archangels? And what we will share there is no. The archangels are what you may consider more of a primordial energy. The energies with which, the archetypes with which your universe is founded on and with. But we, the Council of Light, are the social memory complex of beings that has ascended through the 12 realms, the 12 planes, the 12 dimensions. And what we would like to bring to all of your awareness in this time on your planet is that there will be many edits made. This will result in Mandela effects. This will result in gaps in memory. This will result in you remembering occurrences very differently than those who were also there in those occurrences. Now, you will hear messaging over the next 5 to 10 years that all of this is simply due to psychology. All of this is simply due to your mind and how your mind may shape events, how your mind may receive events. And what we would like to prime you with about this is that that is a manipulation, you see. Yes, some of that can be true in mild and small ways, but when you are all having collective memories that are starkly different from what you can find the evidence of, is what we'll share, that is because you are sensing the timeline convergences that are going on your planet. You see, this is a 360-degree process that Earth is amidst, meaning you are not receiving these energies from one star system. You are receiving them from all of the star systems simultaneously, you see. This does have to do with the archetypes. This does have to do with the multi-layered process of building a planet such as yours that can hold all of the varying DNAs into one space, one world, one body even. Bree has had some mild blockage here when it comes to understanding what Earth is, and she's pushed against or had resistance to this concept of Earth being an experimental planet. And we can tell you now that that was the case at a time and that is not the case now. We have shared through Bree many times that there are many observers of what Earth is going through, the shift, the evolution in consciousness. And these observers aren't here because they are like many of you that go to a sports game and you want your team to win. This is not what these observers are here for. These observers are here because they know you will evolve and shift. That's why they would like to observe, because they would like to learn how you are all doing it as a collective of vastly varying conscious states. This is why they want to observe. Now, with these timeline convergences, what we must mention is that some of you, while you are venturing down these paths, perhaps you are channeling, perhaps you are going to the sacred sites, please know that there are very protective energies at these sacred sites. Please know there are very protective energies around these sacred beings for which you seek to channel. And please also know that when these ascended beings would like to work with you, they will make you very aware of it. And also know that if you call on a sacred being or an ascended master that is not resonant in your field, you may experience consequences. Meaning, be aware of your surroundings if you're choosing to go down these pathways, because yes, there is light to be found in these access points, but be aware that Bree is hesitating, afraid. She's sensing fear around this message, and that is not our intention. Our intention is simply to make you aware that those that wished to hamper the timeline, to divert the timeline, to scatter the timeline with a core intention of destruction or harm, we're simply making you all aware so that you ensure your space is connected, is grounded, is in alignment with Source before you bring any of this type of messaging, energy, or channeling opportunities through. And we will be a little bit more specific. If you have channeled a message that seems to have shifted you, meaning you feel different in your consciousness following the channeled message, we urge you not to jump right back into your daily functionality, because you will need to sit with these energies. It is very important that you sit with the energies, because you will be filled with more light. You see, each cell within you will be now emanating more light. This can lead you to feeling brighter. This can lead you to feeling lighter. And this can lead you to needing to center yourself, ground yourself. So while some of you will take in these messages and believe that it is just a person sharing words with you, please know it is much more. Please know that if you have arrived at any of these transmissions, it is because your oversoul is leading you to let go of some of the layers, to transmute some of the layers, to alchemize some of the layers that are preventing you from feeling your full soul's eminence in your body. So you will need to have grace, because Bree doesn't share this often, but she keeps her vessel very clean, and this is how she's able to bring these things through. She's very tender with herself. She treats her body well. She keeps herself very pure. And she's very careful about how she sets up these messages. And that is why they're able to come through pure. Now, we'd like to bring you to a scenario where perhaps you are channeling in a group setting. And we'd like you to be aware it's very important you clear your energy after these, because you are going to be catching and sensing and reading and scanning those around you. So if those around you have energies that are not well intended and you release these, it's very important that you not keep yourself open and sensitive and vulnerable immediately following these types of transmissions, because you're opening the door to beings you do not want to be in your consciousness, you see. There are some of you that will receive this message very specifically, and so we ask you to, if you have not already, drop your eyes shut so that you may see what we are speaking to. Some of you are utilizing some substances that we would like to steer you away from. If they are not naturally grown on Mama Gaia, you must question them. We share this not to put you in fear, but we do share this with your knowledge that there are certain industries on your planet, there are certain groups on your planet that know exactly how to find the pure beings, that know exactly how to identify the highly sensitive souls that have come here with a mission of anchoring light. And be aware of false light. Now is the best time for us to land this, to anchor this. There will be many false light prophets on your planet, claiming of things to come that are fearful, claiming of things to come that are to keep you in a state of being closed and boarded up, we will call it. We would like you to take this next message very deeply into your consciousness. If you are engaging in listening to channels, if you are engaging in energy healing, if you are engaging in any type of self-healing practice, and you are allowing yourself to be led by any other being, it is important that instead of the message that you feel you're gaining from these others, instead of the message, look to these subtle energies. How do these energies feel in your body? And what we would like to highlight here is that if there's anything in your vessel that is hindering or getting in the way from you receiving more of your pure light, that may feel as discomfort, tingling, release, and that is perfectly all right. But if you have the sensation of fear or hierarchy, or you feel another being is sharing with you that they are more important than you, they are higher than you, they are more capable than you of anything, be wary. Bree's trying to hold this back, but one thing that she prides herself on in this life is that she likes to show up with all others as equals, and this is important for all of you as well. This isn't about you figuring everything out and understanding everything on the timeline and having the ability to predict. No. This is about you returning to your center. This is about you returning to your core vibrational frequency. And it is a practice for some, but it is a practice that we would urge you all to engage in each day. From Bree is emanating a very pink Pleiadian light that you may feel now, sense now. But know that the Pleiadians are not the only group of star beings that are present with all of you now. There are Lyran councils, Andromedan councils, Arcturian councils, all working together to assist Mama Gaia and all of you. And we want you to know that how you may discern is through your tuning into unconditional love. Is the energy being emanated unconditional love? Am I being guided with unconditional love? Know that if you have sensations of force, sensations of resistance, and it is within your being, these are to be looked at and released. And if you are sensing them in others, perhaps you can open your awareness to know that that is because you have the ability to assist them to open and release. We'd also like to reiterate messages we've brought through Bree before, where we want all of you to become aware of if you are going about your life scanning for the fearful aspects. Are you searching for things to protect against? Because where attention goes, energy flows. So if you are looking for the fearful thing, you will pronounce that. This is why we often work through Bree in session to assist others to soften around these things they have these fearful perceptions of. Because if there is fear compounded by fear, you will tighten the whole scenario, you see. You will have everything become more dense instead of lighter, which is your true goal. So Know that on the earth plane there are beings that you will need discernment with, of course. But understand that even those beings you need discernment with, it is not up to you to place yourself above them. You do not need to place yourself above them to become able to protect yourself against them. You simply need to see them as your equal, knowing they are working through layers just as you are. And the predominating message that we would like to share with you in this transmission is that you are safe. The occurrences that will take place on planet Earth may create small pockets of the collective that feel they need to overpower these distorted beings. But what if you can soften around that as well? If you have the ability to soften around what you're perceiving as distortion, you immediately return that distorted energy to its original core vibrational frequency, which, yes, it is true for all of you, which is love. This is why when you get caught in a loop of suffering, it will seem like spirals in your mind. It will seem like overwhelm. It will seem heavy. This is to become your indicator that those sensations, those feelings, those energies are not authentic to you. They're not in alignment with you. They pull you out of your center. But you are a sovereign being, and you are able in all now moments to return back to this sovereignty and this divinity at your core. Let it flow. Let it permeate the space of your being, of all of your many layering beings. This nesting doll of your being that is your many layers of your oversoul, you see. Some of you will be able to ascend greatly in this transmission. Some of you will simply be observing the message. But allow this to reach your heart, the quantum portal of your heart, where we remind you once more of infinite possibility and potentiality. In all now moments, knowing the future is never set in stone. Allow this to let you and your being realign to truth. You can always shift. You can always realign. You can always change course. No course is set in stone. This will be the last thing we clarify here before we close this down. But many of you are perceiving your divine soul blueprint in a slightly distorted manner. You believe that your divine soul blueprint will give you the map of your entire life. You believe your divine soul blueprint will tell you all of the beings that you are meant to interact with and all of the places you are meant to go, and no. We'll be stern about this. Your divine soul blueprint is highlighting the divine qualities of your soul. Your divine soul blueprint will highlight aspects that you came to expand upon and work through. But your divine soul blueprint is not there to highlight a list of beings. Your divine soul blueprint is not there to highlight a list of dates. No, this is a misperception. So those of you that are seeking breeze services to access your divine soul blueprint to know of events in the future, find another practitioner that will subscribe to that type of service. That will not be something Breeze serves you with. She will help you become more in tune, more aligned with your own guidance. She will help you access your divine soul blueprint, but not for the sake of knowing the future. instead for the sake of knowing yourself. For this is the key on planet Earth. Know thyself. You've heard it before. Let yourself hear it again now. Know thyself. This will be the key for most of you, because you're going to be letting go of the expressions of you that you only formulated due to other beings and other perceptions that you've made of the world. What is underneath all of that is your truth. We are now moving through the spaces. Archangel Michael is sweeping the spaces. This quantum portal is coming to a close. The Akashic records are now being closed. You are all now being returned to your bodies. Returned to your physical moment. Returning. 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 Allowing myself just a moment to return myself. I'm going to do a little practice that I do for myself often. If you want to borrow it, you certainly can, but sometimes I like to place my root chakra, my bottom a little bit to get myself really grounded, especially in those very quantum expansive sessions. Landing, all right. Coming back, coming back. Okay. So let's just all offer a collective gratitude for this message. I sensed my own consciousness receiving many ahas during that, so this is definitely a transmission I will listen back to pretty much right away to really get the light codes that were embedded in this. It is my hope, my intention that as we flood this space with gratitude, and we offer our gratitude for all of the guides that came through the Council of Light, that we also have the ability to return this gratitude within. I want you to return your gratitude within as well, because you would not have been part of this unless there was at least a thread of your being that was resonating with it. Resonance is an important law of the universe. So, what I want to share at the end, my feeling about this message is that we all return to this truth of resonance. Does this resonate? And if it doesn't, we can let it go. We don't have to put a magnifying glass on it and figure out our mental story of why it doesn't resonate. If it doesn't resonate, let it go. And if it resonates, it's for you. And that also, I'm also getting this visual too, is if something does resonate, you also don't have to put the magnifying glass to it to figure out why it resonates. Let yourself be more in tune with your subtle body, the subtle layers of your energetic system, so that you can let that be your guide. I love you all so very deeply, and I'm very appreciative to have you all here. If you received anything that feels truthful, in alignment, of love, of healing from this transmission, then I would encourage you towards my energy healing membership and my self-healing course. Those are two containers with which I was able to attune to align with energies that were transmitted through me for the highest good of all. The self-healing course is a jump start for you. If you're on a healing journey and you're starting to become aware of the fact that all healing is self-healing, and you are maybe opening up your light language, you're channeling gifts, your spiritual gifts, that was transmitted through me, and it was something that was very much beyond me, as in, it was sort of like this morning with this message where it was Spirit came through my consciousness and shared, you are going to do this, sit down, allow. And the energy healing membership is really meant to be a consistent tool for you to just receive a little bit. A lot of what I see energy healing doing for people is opening up to their ability to receive. If you have an archetype like mine, which is very nurturing, very gentle, very loving, very caring, you may occasionally need the reminder to turn that love back within. So allow me to be that subtle reminder for you. Yeah. All right, so be sure to hydrate plenty after this transmission. You might have felt like it was just informational. Oh, loves. Much more, even for me. So hydrate. Know that anything you're feeling in the way of sensation or temperature change or tingling or anything along those lines is energy movement, is energy alchemy, is energy transmutation. Gentle tapping, giving yourself the rest you need, hydration, journaling may help just to, this is the message that I want to plant, is if you're having any spiraling, it may be helpful for you to do a brain dump. In other words, write down all the stuff that's spiraling around. And if it really feels like it doesn't stop after that, maybe take that paper and have a little ceremony with yourself where you do this in a safe space with a glass container, and you might want to burn that paper and allow yourself to really sense and feel this alchemy of you just releasing that. Releasing that spiraling mind, releasing those returned to and fixated upon problems, because this will really help you to return to your core truth, your direct source alignment, after you've freed yourself from those layers that were steeped in the fear or steeped in the protection or steeped in the XYZ. I love you all so very much. I'm going to get this up as soon as I can, and all the links to all of my transmissions will be below. I also have a donation link where I am completely open and welcoming of any of your contributions. And I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you. I'll see you in the next one. Let's take a deep breath together. Namaste.